At this point, you should have a solid sequence in place, and you've even polished the piece with things like titles and audio adjustments. Now you can start thinking about putting in some finishing touches, including special effects. I've opened a project called Video Effects. It contains a sequence that's nearly complete, but a few of the shots have a problem that I might be able to fix with an effect. Let's look at this series of shots here. I like the edits, but this shot looks so much different from the other shots, I find it distracting. I'd like to make this shot more consistent with the shots next to it. I'll try to do it with an effect. If you look in the Effects panel, you'll see Audio Effects and Video Effects. I'll click the triangle next to Video Effects to expand it. And you'll see another level of folders that organize the effects into categories. I'll open the Color Correction folder. Now I'm sure there's more than one effect that could help my situation, but I'll try just one possibility. I'll choose the RGB Curves effect. And I'll add it to the clip just by dragging and dropping. So I'll drag it from here, and I'll drop it on the clip. I'll use the plus key to zoom in. And I'll deselect the clip. Do you see that highlighting? That indicates that this clip has an effect. Now I'll reselect the clip and select the Effect Controls panel. The Effect Controls panel shows the selected clip's effects, which can include inherent properties like motion, opacity, and volume, but also added effects, like the RGB Curves effect that I just added. I'll click this triangle to view its properties. And I'll scroll down. These boxes represent the clip's red, green, and blue channels, and the master channel. The lines represent each channel's value range, arranged from light to dark. By adding points to this line, you can change its shape and thereby change the image. So I'd like this clip to look more like this one. So I'll need to bring up the shadows and change the color. I'll do that by adding a point onto the master curve. I need to bring up the shadows a bit so it looks more like the other shots. So I'll add a point down here where the shadows are indicated, and I'll bring it up. Look at the image in the program monitor. That brought up the shadows, but it also brought up the midtones and the highlights a little too much. So I'll add another point to bring those back down to where they were. Now I'll make a similar but smaller adjustment to the green channel. I'll bring the green channel's shadows up slightly, but not too much, and I don't want to affect the highlights. Obviously, you could spend more time perfecting the curves, but I can already see that it matches the other shots much more closely. If I toggle this effect on and off by clicking this icon, you can really see the difference. There it is with no effect. There it is with the effect. So adding an effect makes this shot a lot more consistent with its neighbors so that it's no longer distracting.